I want viewers' opinions on this as well. Tony to Manchester United. How much better of a team does it make us? So what's your thoughts on that, Sam?
See, this is the issue, and I know when I speak to United fans, they're like, get Ronaldo out of my club. I don't want him to play for my club. I'm like, okay, have you taken a look at the striker market currently? The striker market in 2022, ladies and gentlemen, stinks. It stinks. After Haaland and Lewandowski, there is no guaranteed player. I'm a Liverpool fan. Nunes is a risk. Everyone's a risk. After Haaland and Lewandowski, everyone's a risk. Jesus is a risk. Nunes is a risk. Ivan Toney is a risk. All of them are risks. Ivan Toney just played his first season in the Premier League. You know, how do you know that he's not going to be the next Michu? That's a genuine possibility. Michu came in, played with Swansea, scored 20-something goals in his first season. Ooh, Michu, you know, he's this incredible player. And then boom, he disappeared. I think Ronaldo, just keep Ronaldo for a year and worry about the striker stuff next season. Allow Rashford, Sancho. Did I get, can you see me? Hello?
Yeah, all good. Yep.
Okay. Allow Rashford, Sancho, the young players coming in to be given an opportunity under Erik ten Hag. Give them a season so they can come in and you know, show what they're capable of. If Rashford and Martial and these players, they stink it up, next summer, assess the striker market. Because currently, as things stand, the striker market is really bad, guys. Like, genuinely. I'm not even capping. I'm not even saying it's Man United. I'm actually one of the few fans that, and Terry knows this, I go on spaces, I do stuff on my channel everywhere. When I speak to United fans, I'm the guy that's sort of defending Ronaldo. I'm telling him, look, 18 league goals in a horrendous team, absolutely shit team, 18 league goals. You're going to remove that now. And people say goals spread out. Blah, blah. I understand, but you still need someone who scores more goals than everyone else. City had someone who scores more goals than everyone else. Liverpool has more goals than everyone else. With Cristiano Ronaldo, he got you 18 goals. Keep him for this season. And next summer, if you just want to move on from Ronaldo, fine. Go get someone else. Assess the striker market then. Because right now, you're looking at very poor options. There might be a player this season that breaks through, that scores 20-something goals, and you're like very impressed with him. You can go get him next summer, but don't like reduce your level to Ivan Toney, with all due respect, because I wouldn't have him anywhere near. But like Cristiano Ronaldo's replacement, Ivan Toney, are you confident if you sign? Let's say you sign Ivan Toney, okay? Let's say you sign Ivan Toney, and you know you give him a 3-year contract, nothing crazy, just a 3-year contract. You sign him. Next season, let's assume this season you're in Europa League. Next season, you're playing in the Champions League. You are in the same group as Real Madrid. Are you confident in taking Ivan Toney to the Bernabeu? Are you confident in taking Ivan Toney to the Allianz Arena, etc.? There's levels to this game. Toney can't go from Brentford to Manchester United. Toney can go from Brentford to Aston Villa, then bang, then I'd actually make an argument that Ollie Watkins is probably a better striker to get than Ivan Toney. That's what I'd say. So I think that's way too much of a decrease. And it's funny because the way the United fans started on Ronaldo, you sort of wouldn't have recognized that this guy scored 18 goals this season. Only Son and Salah scored more than him. He's 38.
I think it's interesting, look, with the Ronaldo thing. I'm not that bothered that he wants to leave but it fits my entire thought process around this rebuild. We were not fixing all the problems year one. Ronaldo leaving now is only a year earlier than leaving next year. Yes, it may mean you have a hole for a year, but we're going to holes, you know, as long as a different, let's say you say you sell him for 20 million and you say 26 million in his salary, and then you invest that in a brand new right back that improves us. I'm actually happier doing that than bringing in a makeshift average striker.
Yep.
Tony's an issue for me, though, because I like him. I quite like him. So when you sort of said, would you have confidence in him? Right now, if you said, right, we've got to go and play the new Man United team at, I was about to say the Camp Nou. They're not that great themselves at the minute. We had to go to the Santiago Bernabeu, to Anfield away on a European night. We had to go to Munich and play Bayern. Would I be confident in him at this very moment? No, the answer is no. I'm not even confident in my team right now, even though I've had a couple of decent little moments in preseason games. You know, I'm not going to stand there and start celebrating winning preseason. I find it very strange. But Tony's one of these players that I just want to see, a bit like Yves Bissouma as an example, where I just want to see him. Conor Gallagher, I know he's going back to Chelsea. I just want to see him play in a better team with better players around him. And what's intriguing to me is everybody talks about talent ID. Christian Eriksen was playing for Brentford, looked brilliant. Brentford's style of football, I'm not saying it's identical to how Ten Hag plays, but I think there are similarities to how the team move the ball, the shape, the hard work. I think there's an element of, well, maybe let's look at this player because there is some talent in there. For me, Toney would be a signing that I would like, but not at stupid money. So if they were like, yeah, we want £60 million, I'd say no, that's too big a risk because it eats into the budget. But if you could pick him up in this modern day era for £25 million, £30 million maybe, I wouldn't be adverse to that because he gives us something different to what we have now. He's never going to be as good as Cristiano Ronaldo. Never. And I'm not sort of denying that. But remember, a peak Ronaldo would have cost you £250 million in today's market. But I quite like him. Personally, that's my issue. I've said for a while, I think he could do bits. The only issue I actually have with Toney is I do have slight concerns, and I know people don't like this because they think they think I'm pulling on an immutable, which I'm not. Some of the things I've seen him say about Brentford when he's been on holidays and stuff, kind of the way he's kind of dug into them a little bit. Now that might just be I don't know him, so I'm not going to judge him too much. That could just be his humor, and he says those things as a little bit self-deprecating. Man United fans sing a song which is Who the F are Man United, where we kind of slag ourselves off. So it could just be his humor. We don't know. So I don't want to overly judge him. But I'd like to understand why he's done that, because you think if there is a slight issue there in terms of professionalism maybe or whatnot, Man United need no more of that. But I quite like him. But what I do agree with, if we can't find a player that Ten Hag says 100%, this is the person that I see for the next 5 years taking us forward, we wait. And that's why I'm not being a mushroom. I'm not being one of these fungus fans who's looking for a reason to be angry everywhere. And we saw that yesterday from the fungus, from the mushrooms, when these are the same fans screaming for 7 weeks now, just spend the money. And then it turns out we spent 55 million on Martinez in its entirety. And they're like, why are you overpaying? You can't ask us just to spend the money.
Too much money.
Costs, and then moan that we spent too much. If you're someone like me that wants us to keep the costs down as best we can, then you have to be patient that these things take time. And then you get the counter argument. Oh, but what's the point of negotiating when we paid the asking price anyway? Well, there's a bidding war with Arsenal. No, there wasn't. Yes, they bid twice. We bid 3 times. We won the bidding. I love how Arsenal fans are spun it into we didn't get into a bidding war. You bid 2 fucking times. That's a bidding war. It's honestly, it's insanity how our fans try and spin these things. But I like Toney. I think he's a good player. I don't know how much better than good he is, though. So right now, if you were to rank him on a scale of 1 to 10 in the Prem, I'd give him like a 6. Can he, with better coaching, better players, a bigger stage, raise himself? And the reason I say that is this. Jota at Liverpool, nobody expected him to be as good, as clinical, and as good a finisher at Liverpool as he has been, because he wasn't doing that, scoring with that regularity at Wolves. But you put him in a better team with a better system, and he's a much better footballer. Well, scorer. I know you guys don't like calling him a footballer, but he's a much better goal scorer than others. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not against it. If we sign Toney, it's one of those players that personally I'd just be a little bit excited about seeing. However, there's a part of me that would also like to see the experiment at him at another big club, because if it does go wrong, we're not lumbered with him. But I quite like him. To be fair.
Even the Jota example that you mentioned, people still criticize him as well. So that's the thing. It's never going to end. Like no one's ever going to go like, oh, Toney's the best striker. They just won't take it seriously. Is Toney better than Harry Kane? That's the immediate question. So.
Well, Harry Kane gets that every year. Every year at the start of the season, a striker starts scoring, especially if he's an English striker. And I'm assuming Toney's English. I don't actually know his nationality. I've never checked. He's born in Northampton. Doesn't necessarily mean he would represent England. But if he started, say he did something for United and he scored 6 goals in the first 5 games of the Prem and Kane was on 1, doesn't like August, you would have people go, Kane's got to be dropped for Toney, because that happens every year. It's so embarrassing that people want Harry Kane dropped.